All right, the third style of elbow that we do is an overhand elbow. So an overhand elbow generally comes after you've practiced side elbow and after you've practiced an up elbow, we'll do the overhand elbow. We want to make sure that our shoulders are nice and warm. If your shoulders are not warm, make sure you get them nice and warm, do some skipping, and make sure that they are moving well. So you might have to do some mobility work because we're going to be throwing our elbows kind of up and over. We want to make sure that we're not kind of tearing our lower back or stressing it out in any way. So our overhand elbows are similar to our other two elbows, except for the fact that they come over the top and down towards our partner rather than either up or from the side. So an overhand elbow, so much fun. We want to make sure that we're still stepping towards our partner. You can do it in a one step, two step, jumping out motion, whichever way you're learning with your footwork. You're going to stick with that. We're going to make sure that as we connect, exactly same part of our elbow, all right, so we're connecting with our forearm, not skimming off the top. If we did miss, it is quite a high elbow, so it's meant to be signifying that, you know, you come down towards someone's face and get them on the way down, but we want to make sure that it's not turning into a side elbow, okay? That's the biggest, I guess, most common mistake that we see is making sure that the elbow isn't just coming from the side, it's actually coming up and over in that position there, as well as making sure that guard is up as well. So we're going to make sure, as we practice, get into that boxing stance to start off with, making sure we're just coming up and as close to our ears as possible, so that we're coming up and over in that nice action. All right, so we're going to start off with our rear hand, because it's generally a lot easier to get the motion down pat, and then we'll do our front hand. So we're going to do our step forward, coming in. So we want to make sure in that position we're not tucking our hand all the way in, because it's just getting that hand, unless you're very close range. If you're close range, for sure, tuck that hand in as much as you can. If we're longer range, where we're having to use our step, which is generally what we're practicing at Box It Out, we want to make sure that as we come in, we can let that hand go a little bit so that we can connect with this a lot better. If we're in this position, it's quite hard for our paddle to connect here unless they're coming up towards us. We want to make sure that as we're coming into this position, we just let the hand come a little bit more forward. All right, we're going to practice on the opposite side. All right, so make sure you're practicing both sides. Watch this as many times as you need to and get that motion happening. Make sure you're warm before you practice.